everything did. But what were they doing there? They were trying to rebuild and clean up.
I don't know what, FEMA hasn't come in yet. Basically, all they were doing was mud out, tearing everything out of the houses. Just in 2 weeks, black mold had set in everything. I mean, basically through town, right through the middle of town, there's 5, 6 feet of water. So, I mean, everything in town basically destroyed. I mean, because of the flash flood, nobody had time to get anything out, so everybody lost everything.
People are probably still hopeful they'll get back in their homes. At least, some, you know, when things like that happen, some will leave and they'll come back because of the memory of what happened.
During this time, we need to pray that FEMA does what they're supposed to do, because really FEMA's a joke. We never dealt with them. I mean, because those poor people, a lot of them won't be able to rebuild, you know, and without the government's help, you know, they'll have mortgages and won't have homes, you know. So they really need a lot of prayer.
Yes.
They do.
You had Salvation Army, Red Cross. We were putting out 2,500. You work 2,500. 3,000 meals a day. Red Cross did all the deliveries.
That's a lot. Red Cross is really good though about helping people.
Yes.
They're really good.
They really need our support.
Well, we appreciate Butch doing that and taking his time.
Amen.
Amen.
2 Samuel chapter 9, it says, And David said, Is there yet any that is left of the house of Saul, that I may shew him kindness for Jonathan's sake? Jonathan was the son of Saul, who was at one time the king of Israel, the first king of Israel, by the way. He was killed in a battle, and so was Jonathan killed at the same time. So then that's when David took over as king. He had already been anointed king a long time, but now he would not take Saul down. He would not impose upon Saul's reign. So he waited till something happened, amen, and then it was David's time to come in. So David was sitting there thinking back, amen, Jonathan and David had a covenant. They were best friends. They had made a blood covenant with each other years ago. And David was thinking about that. So he said, Is there anybody left of the house of Saul, that I might show him kindness for Jonathan's sake? And there was in the house of Saul a servant, whose name was Ziba. And when they had called him unto David, the king said unto him, Art thou Ziba? And he said, Thy servant is he. And the king said, Is there not yet any of the house of Saul, that I may shew kindness of God unto? And Ziba, amen, who once was the servant of Saul, said unto the king, Jonathan hath yet a son, which is lame on his feet. Amen. And the king said unto him, Where is he? And Ziba said unto the king, Behold, he is in the house of Machir, the son of Amiel, in Lodabar. And then King David sent and fetched him out of the house of Machir, the son of Amiel, from Lodabar. And when Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, was coming to David, he fell on his face and did reverence. And David said, Mephibosheth. And he answered, Behold, thy servant. And David said unto him, Fear not, for I will surely show thee kindness for Jonathan thy father's sake, and will restore thee all the land of Saul thy father, and thou shalt eat my bread continually. Now listen to the response that Mephibosheth gave to David. And he bowed himself and said, What is thy servant, that thou shouldest look upon such a dead dog as I am? had some issues, didn't he? Then the king called to Ziba, Saul's servant, and said unto him, I have given unto you, to thy master's son, all that pertained to Saul, and to all his house. Thou therefore, and thy sons and thy servants, shalt till the land for him, and thou shalt bring in the fruits, that thy master's son may have food to eat. But Mephibosheth, thy master's son, shall eat bread always at my table. Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. Then said Ziba to the king, according to all that the Lord thy God hath commanded his servant, so shall thy servant do. So as for Mephibosheth, said the king, he shall eat at my table as one of the king's sons. And Mephibosheth had a young son whose name was Micah, and all that dwelt in the house of Ziba were servants unto Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth dwelled in Jerusalem. He did eat continually at the king's table, and was lame on both feet. Amen. I know I've preached probably here, I'm sure, about Mephibosheth, probably during Restoration. I probably preached about Mephibosheth, but the Lord put something in my spirit yesterday, I think it was, about this that I don't think I've ever preached on before. Amen. I've preached a lot of messages. You can ask my wife about Mephibosheth and about things that happened. We know, like I said before, Mephibosheth was the son of Jonathan, who was the son of Saul, who was the king. So that made Jonathan a priest. Or not a priest, but a prince. Amen. So that would make his heirs. Amen. What would that make his heirs? Amen. They would be, you know how it was. They was all in line to take over as king or whatever. So here was the prince and his son. Amen. But something happened when Jonathan and Saul both got killed, that a caretaker of Mephibosheth, I think he was about 3 years old, gathered him up. And out of fear of David, and out of all things, you know why they feared David? Because of what somebody else had told them about David.
Amen.
They did not know the real David.
Amen.
I'm going to get somewhere in a minute.
Amen.
It was all from hearsay of what they thought about David. They didn't know that David could have had an opportunity many times to kill Saul and take over the kingship.
Amen.
But he said, I will not, amen, I will not touch God's anointed.
Amen.
He was anointed king first. Then David, we went all through this, how David was anointed, amen, as the king. While he was out, amen, he still had sheep poop on his feet, but he was still anointed.
Amen.
Amen. King, but he would not take over the kingship because he would not raise up his hands against the one that the Lord had previously put into place. So, and many times as a matter of fact, one time while Saul was, Saul pursued David. After a long, he had something in his heart against David. Amen. Because David killed Goliath, and Saul's army couldn't even do it. Amen. The people were singing, oh, Saul killed his thousands, but David killed tens of thousands. Amen. So jealousy.
Amen. Come on.
Got into the heart of Saul. And it got him to the point where he pursued after David, wanting to kill him. And one time David had kept his eye on Saul, and one time Saul was laying asleep, and all the people around him, and David snuck into camp. Amen. And stood right over Saul, and could have very easily taken his life. Amen. But he didn't. He cut off a piece of his cloak. Amen. And took it with him. And later on he said, I could have killed you. I could have done it. But it never did stop Saul. Amen. He still had a place in his heart for David. Amen. Out of jealousy, out of strife, out of envy. Amen. For somebody else, he wanted to kill that man.
Yes.
But it just so happened when they were in war one time that somebody killed Saul. And I think Jonathan got killed first. Then Saul, amen, asked one of his servants,